been a while since you and I have had a chance to speak, but it's understandable because with Liberty Entertainment Group, I don't know how many interviews I've done this year talking to the folks behind the scenes, but you guys have done a lot in 2023. Congratulations on such a successful year with your company.
Thanks so much, Rudy. We had some time to make up, and we did it. We came out really strong. My team has done a fantastic job, and look, we always look forward and looking for better opportunities and what's coming to us.
You definitely do that. And as we speak, 2023 is slowly closing. And like I said, if anybody wants to go anywhere, it's usually the establishments that you have, whether it be restaurants, the castle, wherever people want to go, what you guys are presenting. But in this time of the year, there's something that's really special happening with one of your facilities because it has been honored. What are we celebrating? Not just for 2023 going to 2024 and the holidays, but something else very special with your company.
Well, listen, it's a real honor because it doesn't come from local or just national in Canada. This is an international award. We were bestowed on for Don Alfonso 1890, our Michelin restaurant at the Weston Harbor Castle. And we were in the top 3 of the world's best Italian restaurants from 50 top Italy. I mean, that's a great honor in that it comes from an organization out of Italy. They rate all the restaurants in Italy. They have one category identifying the best restaurants outside of Italy. And Don Alfonso, 3rd year in a row, has been in the top 3.
It about this place, man? Like as people are probably wondering what my background is, this is just a tiny example of what this place is like.
Well, we've been very fortunate in that we've had a team that's worked really diligently and worked hard to aspire to be the best. And every year they improve. Davide Cavatelli comes from Italy. He's from the Amalfi Coast. He's steering the ship at Don Alfonso with respect to our food program. Received a Michelin star in September, and we were the first Michelin star restaurant in Canada. And we know we've received many other accolades because we believe it's not just about the food, which is paramount and most important, but it's the ambiance in the space, the decor, and the level of service. And so we aspire to be the best in class, and we want to put the Canadian teams and Canadian culinary scene on the world stage.
This is a very classy place. Let's talk about what happens when you walk in. What do we see? What do we experience? And also, Mediterranean food is a big thing here.
Well, the beauty of our space is that we have a full 360 view of the city. It is on the 38th floor of the Weston Harbor Castle, right behind you, as you can see. And when you first walk in, it's just a jaw-dropping. You see the lake, you see the city, you see the lights, and it's pretty spectacular. If you sit on the lakeside, you can watch the ferries in the summertime taking people to the island. Porter Airline, you can watch airplanes coming in constantly through the windows. On the city side, you see the lights and the action of the city, all of at the same time being immersed in a spectacular dining atmosphere. It really is beautiful. The food is extraordinary, and the service is bar none.
Your restaurant's one of the biggest things that I've seen, and you can't miss it. If you say, "Excuse me, I would like to have some wine," all your servers have to do is point, because usually there's this massive area where you have different types of wine. Can you talk about that, please?
Well, Rudy, for our style of restaurant, the wine is a critical part of the whole environment and the whole scene, the dining scene. It is one of the components that you cannot disregard. And our wine cellars typically at Don Alfonso, for example, it's about 1.5 million deep in terms of cost. But it's tremendously important because people need to select the wine they want. So if you choose to do a $150 bottle of wine or a $6,000 bottle of wine, it's your choice to do so, and you compare it with the food that you have on the table. We have some of the best sommeliers in the country. 2 of ours had won national awards as best sommeliers. and they've done an incredible pairing for our tasting menu. So you can come and have a tasting menu, 8-course meal, and it's paired every course with a separate wine, which works perfectly with the food component. So we're pretty proud of our wine program, one Wine Spectator Award of Excellence, and we will continue to provide that sort of wine service to our customers.
Is it fair to ask what the specialty is here, food-wise?
Food-wise. Well, one of the things we take pride in is, although Don Alfonso is under the stewardship of Ernesto Iaccarini from the Amalfi Coast, what he's done is he's created dishes that work, but also not just from Italy. He's basically tried to say what works in Canada with indigenous products. So one of our most signature dishes is the Manitoba bison. And that dish there is quite spectacular. It reflects on the culinary style of Ernesto Iaccarini from the Amalfi Coast, but it uses local products and Canadian products to really showcase what we do here in Canada.
And can I add into desserts?
Well, the desserts are quite spectacular. One of my favorite is a vegan dessert. And so you look at it, it seems to be an ice cream style dessert. It's called the Mediterranean, but it's a flurry of fruits and creams. I'm not sure how our chefs even do this, because I would never imagine it would be vegan, but it is quite spectacular.
You know, I don't want to put you on the spot, but when we talk about Liberty Entertainment Group, the middle word entertainment, entertainers. Whenever I see pictures on Instagram, there's always a big celebrity somewhere at your facilities. Is there always a chance that we could be coming over here, sitting down, having a meal, having to look over my shoulder, and I could see some worldwide entertainer eating close by me?
Well, listen, I think even more so now than ever, because the few years that we've missed the Toronto International Film Festival, and last year they had the actor strike. What's happened is a lot of the movies haven't launched, because they typically would launch during TIFF all at one time. What you're seeing now throughout this year is those movie launches are going to happen in a staggered fashion. So we just did the launch of Ferrari at Casa Loma, for example. Great movie, great actors. And so as you see those happen throughout the year, more and more of those actors are going to be around throughout the year, not just during TIFF.
Well, as I said, we're coming up towards 2024, and I can almost guess people are trying to get reservations right now for New Year's Eve. There's going to be a New Year's Eve meal going on, correct?
Well, one of the most spectacular things of that location in itself for New Year's Eve, the fireworks are actually right below Don Alfonso. It is the most spectacular view of the fireworks. You can actually see the barge, and as they're setting them up. So when you're sitting in the window, you can the fireworks completely surround you. So we're very fortunate. It's at near Ashbridges Bay. We're just to the west of that, and we have the most spectacular view of fireworks on New Year's Eve. So it is quite extraordinary to have a Michelin dinner in a beautiful restaurant with beautiful wine pairing, and then be able to cap it off with a fireworks show. Almost appears to be a private one for Don Alfonso 1890.
I love it. Look, as we wrap this up, what is happening in 2024? Can you give us some hints on any of the other facilities and also at the castle? Because as you know, when it comes to the castle in the summer, you can't take me away from there.
Well, listen, one of the most biggest pieces of news for us at Liberty Entertainment Group is we are opening our newest restaurant, Blue Bovine, fully under construction. We will be opening in February of 2024. It's a fairly large restaurant, sister restaurant to Blue Blood. It's a steak and sushi house at Union Station, about 10,000 square feet in size. So whether you're going to a hockey game, or you're in the financial district, or you're at the Royal York Hotel, or even the Weston Harbor Castle, it's a walking distance to our newest project, Blue Bovine, and we're thrilled to have that open for us in February.
Wait a minute, you said February. Is it going to be set up before Valentine's? Just curious, because people are going to be wanting to know, I got to take my significant somewhere. Just wondering.
Well, Rudy, we're setting up our reservation table, and we're waiting to see the timeline of construction. We'll probably open our reservations within a couple of weeks, and I think we will make the Valentine's date.
I love it, sir. I got to say, man, Thank you so much, not just for this interview. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for the interviews that we've done for so many years. Thank you so much for your company giving back to the city in so many ways. And I will say this 1,000 times. Your company saved Casa Loma. I remember what it was like 20 years ago before you guys got a hold of it, what you've done and turned it into such an amazing establishment throughout the year for not just Toronto, but for Canada is an amazing thing. Thank you so much for what you've done for the city and for this country.
Well, Rudy, thank you so much for the years of support. We've gone back a long, long way, back to my PM Toronto days on Carlton next to Maple Leaf Gardens. So we go back a long way. You've always been a big supporter. And you know what? You become a supporter of Toronto because by praising what we do, you're praising what Toronto can do. And to me, that's what's important. It's about how great Toronto is as a city and how we really rank in the world stage. And this last award for Don Alfonso on the world stage identifies that we're making progress and we are the greatest city in the world. So thank you, Rudy, for all your support.